The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I RASTA go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Unu prepare a table before I. In the presence of our enemy them. Unu anointed I head with unu oil. The cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah. Kedema we groma beya tela exact beer tanaista lina bashante shante shante. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we will do it on just one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is where the truth lives, is the headquarters of the truth. My brother, my sister, our numbers are rolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. Come in here. We shall have our own TV and, of course, our own radio. Thanks to your viewership, power, and energy and love. Continue to support this channel. You can send donations to us. We would gladly acknowledge you. In the interim, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Now we call it the Black Pot for one very good reason. In every African traditional home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something interesting happening. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, aromas, and even flavors assembled in the black pot. And they are subjected to some good amount of heating in the aftermath. Sumptuous food is prepared. Oh yes, for the nutrition of the whole family. That's what we do here exactly. Different ideas, using me as the black pot, and then we bring out the best of the ideas to help with the development of our nation, our country, our land. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and here we speak truth to power. Come here! My name, Blakk Rasta. Now the very first story is coming up. And what does the story say? Ghana Fire Service cries out. My God. Now the Ghana Fire Service is a very important entity. We all know that, right? Very important entity, especially in times like this, the Harmattan. When you go to America, they're experiencing winter. England, winter. Europe, winter. Yes. And when you go to South Africa, a major part of South Africa also experiences winter, and some other African countries, especially in the northern part of Africa. That is when snow comes down and the whole place is cold. But in the rest of Africa is the Harmattan. Dry winds blowing from the Sahara Desert from somewhere the 21st of November all the way down to the 21st of February. These are the official periods for Harmattan. The grasses all dry out. Trees also dry out and shed their leaves. The little spark that comes in contact with the dry twigs is fire. My brother, my sister, almost every year in Ghana, when the Harmattan sets in, we have a lot of fire outbreak. And we all count on the fire service to be able to do justice to this. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot. And we are looking at the Ghana Fire Service. Why is the Ghana Fire Service crying out? Watch this. Ghana National Fire Service laments lack of fire extinguishers in vehicles. Which vehicles? Which fire extinguishers? Run it, my old. Watch this. Now, the Ghana National Fire Service has expressed concern about the lack of fire extinguishers in most vehicles, which results in destruction of some vehicles on the road during fire outbreaks. Now, the service, in collaboration with the National Road Safety Authority, conducted an exercise on 70 vehicles in the whole township, and 98% of all the vehicles there did not have fire extinguishers. The whole township, 98% of all the cars, no fire extinguishers. 2% of the vehicles that had fire extinguishers could not even operate them. Deputy Chief Fire Officer Joy Eyim Ameibo, Volta Regional Commander, Ghana National Fire Service, who disclosed this in an interview with the Ghana News Agency, said fire extinguishers formed important part of every vehicle on the road. Dash it away. And come here, my youth. Watch this. It's very sad that the Ghana Fire Service has to come out with this lamentation. It's sad. And you know why it's sad? Whose duty is it to enforce the law? Whose duty is it to make sure that all cars in Ghana that ply our roads must have fire extinguishers? It's the police. It means the police is doing a lousy job. When the police stop you on the road, sadly, they are only interested in checking your license. That's if they do that at all. And once they get your attention, a lot of police people ask you for money. Any other thing does not matter to them. Some police people in Ghana mistake fire extinguisher for air freshener. I've had at least 2 policemen stop me some time ago, and they struggle to remember the name fire extinguisher. Said air freshener. There was one who even said fire refreshener. It's not to disgrace the police. I love the police. My grandfather was a policeman. Yes, Chief Inspector Audu Kankani. And I love this man. My brother, my sister, it is the duty of the police to make sure that every vehicle plying this road has proper lights. You have fire extinguisher. At the same time, you have triangles in case your car breaks down. You even have some basic tools in your car just in case you need to change a tire. And if you don't have that, you park at one side of the road, and then the police would invite a towing car to come and tow you to the police station. You pay for the towing, pay to come and pick up your car, and then you must have all those things that you did not have at the time your car was towed, shown to the court before you take your car. You think if we were doing this, we would still have cars in Ghana without fire extinguishers? Every car in Ghana has air freshener, yet no fire extinguisher. Why? Because it's more comfortable. People are complaining, oh, car no more day, we say, oh, send kakra, then they will go and get the air freshener, yet never get the fire extinguisher. What point is Blakk RASTA making at all? We are a people who are not interested in the law. We are very quick to be selfish. We stop the driver on the road, and the driver knows already that he is wrong. So he doesn't waste his time to explain. He just pulls out money. You are cheap if you take that money. If I were president of this country, or I had the power given to the police and all these outfits to make sure that the law works, my brother, a lot of these cars would be parked somewhere until the owners are ready to abide by the law. That way, the work of the police is easier. That way, the work of the police is easier. If the driver has almost everything in his car, then the rate at which accidents hit us every now and then would come to a certain low level. True or false? In Ghana, when a car catches fire, you know what people do? They fetch sand. Sand. They try to pour it into the flames. Of course, sand can put out the fire. At the end of the day, you spend more than whatever to be able to bring the car back to life. You have to get the sand out. The sand gets into areas that are uncomfortable for the car. Cheap things cost. Why don't we abide by the rules? My father was a fire engineer. So every now and then, I have fire extinguishers in my car. At least one. Sometimes I even have two. I realized that anytime I have 2 fire extinguishers in my car, I have to give that to friends who didn't have. And I stopped. Therefore, I now keep just one. My brother, your life is important. If you can go and eat akrantie and fufu to keep your body fresh and nice and to satisfy your tongue and your mouth, remember that the car that carries your life around also needs to eat akrantie and fufu. And the akrantie and fufu that the car would eat would be what? Maintenance of the car, the air freshener that you put in your car, the fire extinguisher, the tools, and all those things. They are the fufu and akrantie of the car. Cars do not eat fufu and akrantie. It's human beings who eat that. What the car eats to be able to stand fresh and run good is what I just mentioned. Regular checkup, maintenance. To Ghana police, please, you are the friend of the public. Make sure the laws work. Make sure that if anyone has no license, he can beg you from heaven till earth. Make sure the cars are towed. If we continue to do that, we won't have people like Salfo Amakon telling us that the police will dare not stop him on the road. They only say, Father, Dada, Father, Dada. And he went ahead to say, who born dog? You can't stop him even when he doesn't have a driver's license. It's because of this behavior. Ghana police is extra friendly. I don't remember the last time any Ghana police asked me for a license or to look in my car. I see it as a form of respect. But that doesn't mean I won't keep my car and my documents right. Every time I drive, I have everything set. If by mistake, maybe something expired and I didn't know, a policeman will draw my attention to that. He might not prosecute me, and I will not waste the next instance to be able to fix it. These are some of the privileges we get as people who are popular or famous. To the police, please make sure the country works. Your work is difficult. Don't renege on anything. Make sure that these cars have the fire extinguishers that I needed. Hamatan is here. And after Hamatan, let's make sure that this is observed. And it's the policeman's right of duty to stop any car that he thinks is dangerous. Maybe the maintenance is poor. Maybe there's a tire that is wobbling. The policeman in Ghana can stop that car and tow it. He just has to prove that he thinks that this car is not safe. That way, our country will become better. Look at the streets full of rickety cars. You don't see that in America. You don't see that in England because they make sure that the age of their cars are respected in order to ply their roads. Your car must not go beyond a certain age. We have that in Ghana as well, but it's not being adhered to. You go on the streets of Ghana and you see a car that's 120 years and the owner is so proud that he's still driving a car that his great-grandfather drove to go and meet Okonfo Anoche at Asankregwa. It's the Blakk Port, a.k.a. Kokoshonomo, where we speak total power. When we return, we got more. Hey! Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show man.
It's a black pot, aka Kokoshonamo, and my name, Blakk RASTA. Next story. Watch this. Oral will soon be Osal. And this is Kofi Bentil talking. What is oral? Oral means operation, retrieve all loot. It's a new initiative that has been brought by the President-elect John Dramani Mahama. And this is the team. Ablakwa is in front there. My own very good schoolmates. Kofi Boache is there. We see Raymond Archer. And then at the back is Daniel Domlevo. My brother, the man on my far right is a very vocal person. He's a lawyer by profession. Sometimes he speaks Dagbani, and some people are surprised that, oh, this is an Ewe man who speaks Dagbani. But that is the beauty of our cohabitation, right? And coexistence. This is Team Oral. Operation Retrieve All Loot is supposed to chase the looters and state capturers, collect everything that they have stolen, punish them, and send that back to the state. But there's a man called Kofi Bentil. He's with Imani Africa. Sometimes you wonder where his loyalty is. But that's a good man. Sometimes he makes a comment and you want to ask yourself, this man, where does he really stand? But it's good. When you cannot find exactly where a man stands, sometimes it's very good because it tells you that this man is unpredictable. Predictability is synonymous with robots. So once you are a human being, sometimes don't let people judge you too quickly and too fast. This is Kofi Bentil, Imani Africa. He's the deputy right there. He deputizes my very good friend and fellow KNUST Independence Hall mate. My brother, my sister, he has spoken. What is he saying? Franklin Kujo is his boss. Run the story. Loot recovery in Ghana is a cycle where the recoverers become the looters. And this is Kofi Bentil replying Kofi Azan. Run it, my youth. Hey, this is deep. Run the story properly. Start it from the top. This is the story, my brother. Now, Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bentil, has suggested that President-elect John Dramani Mahama's operation recover all loot anti-corruption initiative, which is aimed at recovering money stolen from the country through corrupt activities, will not work. According to him, a look at the history of loot recovery programs implemented in the country shows how inefficient such initiatives have been. He indicated that loot recovery in the country has become a cycle where political parties in government chase officials of a previous government, accusing them of looting the country's resources. Those who don't learn from history are condemned to repeat it. What's the history of the so-called loot recovery? It's a cycle where the recoverers become the looters and the looters become the recoverers. It's we citizens who lose when the bandits who have now become friends walk off and laugh at us. He wrote in a post shared on X on December 24, 2024. Kofi Bentil cited the case of Alfred Woyome as an example of how the political class, especially the two leading political parties, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, and the New Patriotic Party, the NPP, have been taking advantage of the people of Ghana. He added that for the recovery to be able to stop the looting by politicians, it must take a critical look at the two major political parties. To those rolling their eyes, ask yourself, what happened to Woyome? Today he has reappeared in NDC politics. We need a serious look at both major parties and a way to ensure they stop the looting musical chairs. We citizens lose and the politicians take turns to rob us. The Imani vice president made these remarks whilst reacting to an assertion by US-based Ghanaian lawyer and scholar, Professor Stephen Kwekwasare, widely known as Kwekwazan, that loot recovery is important in a country's development. That's straight away. And this is what Kwekwazan wrote. Loot recovery is an essential pillar of our developmental agenda and must be pursued with unwavering determination, transparency, and a commitment to justice. It is not only a moral imperative, but also a strategic necessity to rebuild public trust, enhance governance, and create a fairer society where resources are used for the benefit of all, not the enrichment of a few. There is no need for apprehension. Those who have not looted have nothing to worry about. However, those who have should brace themselves for the sleepless nights they rightfully deserve. This Kwekwazan, there was a time he got in contact with me because we had varying views concerning people who hold citizenships, holding political office in Ghana and beyond. I am against it. He's for it. And then he was trying to explain to me why he was for it. And I told him that this was a beautiful topic and it would be good for us to debate it publicly. Therefore, rather than speaking on the phone, let's debate it publicly. And he agreed. But he told me he was in America and that he would find time and come over so that we'll do it. For me, I think that if you are a citizen of another nation, you should not partake in our national affair. No. You can come and do your business and go away. You are like a two-faced human being to me. Nkrumah didn't have that. In fact, Kwekwazan was trying to tell me that Nkrumah, in fact, at a point was even a British citizen. How? He said at the time when Britain colonized Ghana, all Ghanaians were automatically British citizens. That's his point. It's academic. But my brother, I am talking about willingly giving yourself out to be a citizen of another nation. You are a two-faced human being. One leg is here, the other leg is here. If there was a bomb that you had to drop on either countries, what would you do? Which one would you drop it on? People have debated me on this issue, but my stance is my stance. Muhammad doesn't agree with me. He doesn't. In fact, remember that guy who became an MP and was kicked out because of dual citizenship? Later he went to court and then won the case. They had to go back and then, have a by-election, which he won again. His name has escaped me. But I spoke about him over and over. That tells you that it's not personal. We are looking at the issues and not at personalities. Muhammad said when he becomes president, he will make him a minister of state. I came out and said, I don't agree with that. But of course, you are Mr. President. You hold all the power. We can't think the same and we can't have the same views on everything. Somewhere we will differ. This is Kwekwazan. He's an academician, right? He said loot recovery is very important. And I agree with him. Kwekwazan is a great guy. But Kofi Bentil in this case is behaving pessimistically. You know what that word means? Pessimism. Hopelessness. Oh, it's happening over and over. Therefore, it won't happen again. Yes, it happened over and over. History tells us that, yes, it never worked. And for that matter, it will never work. In this country, nobody has ever become president and gone back into opposition and come back as president. There's always a first time in everything. We should never throw our hands up in the air in despair. All of us must come together and make sure that some of these things work. We are not robots. It's a robot that you can predict from the beginning to the end. My brother, oral is here. Kofi Bentil says very soon it will become Osal. What is the meaning of Osal? Operation Steal or Loot. Operation Steal All Loot. We have greedy people all over. There are people who are thieves everywhere. It's true. What Kofi can say is that, listen, history has taught us that this thing has never worked. Let's make sure that this works. These are the things we put in place, and he rightfully put that out. We have to look at the two political parties. The duopoly, the NDC and the NPP. Let's make sure that we have our eyes on them. Something tells me Mahama wants to leave a strong legacy, and some of us are ready to support. Kofi should be ready to support. Franklin Kujo should be ready to support. Where the others failed, we must make sure that Mahama does not fail. And it's not because it's Mahama, it's because it's Ghana. In our country, we are so interested in pulling each other down, all because we want all the glory to come to us. Let this thing work. Oral must work. Is it Operation Retrieve or Operation Recover? Whatever it is, we have to recover from the loot. And if we are able to do that, recover from corruption, fight corruption. And I am also beginning something beautiful. We are making badges. Maybe later we can have t-shirts. And on those t-shirts we shall have, I love Ghana, so I am not corrupt. I go to South Africa, common CD, I give out to immigration officers. Tell them, oh no, in the line of duty, I'm not supposed to accept this. Just give me the item, I'll check it online and I'll buy it. I go to Israel, it's the same thing. America is even worse. England is worse. But in our country, immigration officers ask us for goodies right at the airport when we arrive. And we call that culture. It's a culture of asking people to give you things when they are returning from abroad. What kind of culture is that? That is why a lot of people are leaving this country. And they cannot return until they have something to come and give you as gifts. Nobody in Ghana can travel freely and come home quietly without people saying, oh, two coin or we must kill some of these canker worms in our heads if the nation has to grow. We must make sure that oral works. We must make sure that we don't sit back and watch these thieves continue to rob us. Am I making sense? Let's not throw our hands up in the air in despair and say, this couldn't do it, that couldn't do it, this couldn't do it, that couldn't do it, and for that matter, this too will not work. No, we must make sure it works. How do we make sure it works? By looking at failure so we succeed. If I go to write an examination and I am told what the advantages of a certain product are, I can tell you what the disadvantages would be. So once I know what made this fail, I should automatically tell you what will make it work. It's common sense. It's the Blakk Pot, aka Kokoshonamo, where we speak truth to power. We're going to continue fighting for our nation. We are tired of the corruption. Africa is so corrupt. That's what everybody says. Ghana is the gateway to Africa. We must make sure that corruption is stamped out. And this is the time to do that. It's the Blakk Pot. When we return, we shall read your messages. Hey! Hoi! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show, man.
It's the Black Pot, aka Coco Show, and here we speak truth to power. Shall we look at your comments, right? Let's see exactly where your mind is directed. Kamel Mohammed said, Black Rasta, Coco Show no more heat. Alasa K. Jibril said, respect Rasta, greetings from Aflao. Hakim Mumuni says, good evening. Bro, watching you live in Wayoy. Captain Rahman says, Black Rasta, let's link up anytime you come to France. Because I really love you. Captain, I will be in France. We were there last year, right? Or was it early this year? Last year, right? All right, we're going to be there again. We have a lot of things we want to do. Yeah, man, concerts and so on and so forth. And if you know any promoter who would like to have Black Rasta and the Herbalist Band, why not? We'll have a great tour of the area to the glory of the Most High. Finn Ahmed Eko says, welcome, the King. And the Dusty says, Merry Christmas to you, Black Rasta. Blessed love. And the Dusty, all right. Kweku Mbil, oh my God. Brother Kweku is all the way in Illinois, right there in Chicago. Welcome forward, Black Rasta. Thanks for discussing fire safety. In my day, every vehicle was required to carry a fire extinguisher in the vehicle. You are in trouble if you don't have any fire extinguisher and basic repair tools. Enforcement. Thank you, Brother Kweku, for this. Enforcement. When a policeman takes money from you and allows you to go, don't think he loves you and don't think you are smart. You are going into an early grave. And Ghanaians don't respect that. They will spend more money to cure the canker of this foolishness. The other day, a policeman stopped me. I think I was on my way to Cape Coast. Maury Junction, the policeman stopped me and he was apologizing to me for stopping. I said, no, sir, you're doing your work, sir. Oh, I shouldn't have stopped you because I know from the way you speak on radio and TV, you are law-abiding. I said, you can't trust everybody. Sir, feel free. I came down from the car, opened everything. In fact, you could see that he was reluctant in searching. It's respect, but the law is not a respecter of persons. That's why when the British and American police stop you, they are most respectful. How are you? How's the day been? Been good? You having a good day? Yes, may I have your passport? It's nice. Let him get you that you don't have any. He will change. He sees you as a nation wrecker. Why is it that you have the chance to have ABC that you don't have that? To endanger other people's lives? He sees you as a nation wrecker and he will deal with you as such. Not here. Somebody is driving with that license. And he tells the whole world that that's how he drives in Ghana because he's a king of kings. And he says no policeman can stop him. And he refers to the policeman as a dog, unborn dog. And because of anointing, we can't talk. Why? Even Moses, who was most anointed, some of his followers and disciples spoke against him and disagreed with him. Muftau Abdullah says, good evening, Black Rasta, watching live from Tripoli. Keep on with your good job. All right? Brother Kweku, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're going to be looking at your final messages soon. Mohammed Banjayawan says, Anawula Mbiale, today I understood why people don't understand. And I can't relate to your music, for it is too deep. Heaven Gate is a mad tune. Greet Hajia Dia for me. Wayo MC Scorpion. Well, all he's trying to say is that he's listening to my music, the Judgment Gate, and he thinks that is so deep. You know, this is where I paraded some politicians like Rawlings, Kofi Wayo, Kufo, Nana Akufo-Addo in front of the gate to heaven. But they have to account for everything they did on earth. You know? And I dramatized it. He thinks that is off the chain. Well, I appreciate this. Nabon Pyramid says, good evening, Black Rasta, the greatest teacher of our time. Keep speaking truth to power. Abdulaziz Rahim Upejo. Good evening, Black Rasta. Grace Saki says hi, and Grace is always saying hi. Abubakar Osmanu says, Blakk Rasta respect. And he says, Blakk Rasta, if we allow 10 to 12 years cars to come into the country, then we can get rid of 50-year-old cars from our streets. All he's saying is that let's allow the cars that are about 10 years and 12 years old into the country so we can get rid of the 50-year-old cars in the system. My brother, a lawless person would have to be dealt with. He can even bring a brand new car into the country and still be lawless. We need to look at this. And they dare not do this in America because the system works there. Who is in charge of our system here? The authorities must make sure that the wheels of the system are continually oiled so they can roll with fluidity, right? It's the Black Pots, aka Koko Shodomo. And here we speak truth to power. Final story. And watch this story. It's interesting. This is not what we expect from Bawumia. Who is Bawumia? You know him? Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the economic whiz kid of the nation, you know, who became a comedian, Ghana's political Mr. Bean. Right now, a lot of people are sympathizing with him because they believe he did not have the right support from Nana Akufo-Addo, who didn't contribute jack to his campaign, except to go around and say, vote for him. He's better than Mahama, and we will never, ever hand over power to a man that I have beaten twice. Such a comic figure. This is Bawumia, a fine gentleman who became an untrained comedian. He went around doing comedy, dancing off beat. Since he lost the election, he lost his dance moves. I don't sympathize with this guy. I said it point blank. Should he win the next election? I was out. And I wanted to teach Ghanaians a strong lesson, radical lesson. Some people think we just talk. I was ready to move. I was more than ready to move, my brother. But this is not what we expect from Bawumia. What are we talking about? He paid for the medical expenses, or better still, he paid the medical expenses. He paid for the treatment of a little boy. Or is it a little girl? A little girl. And there are praises all over the place for him. There's a video, right? I need you to watch this video.
Father, come down. You brought my baby back. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, good to see you. Wow.
Where are you going?
Good to hear that. Well done, well done. Okay, well done. Wow, beautiful sight. Wow, he's walking so well.
It's like, come. Mama,
Come here. So everybody is applauding. Oh, Vice President. Oh, nice. Good, good. You've done well. Yes, I have tears in my eyes. You know why? When the system fails, corrupt people immediately become heroes. Looters and thieves become heroes. Listen to the story. Run the story. Big hugs, smiles as cured 4-year-old leper girl. Bawumia sponsored for leg surgery. Visits him. Run it quickly. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, could not hide his joy when a 4-year-old cured leper who he sponsored to Italy for treatment. Priscilla visited him at his home on Christmas Day, December 25, 2024. In a post shared on X on Thursday, December 26, 2024. That's today. The Vice President described the visit of Priscilla, whom he met at the Weja Leprosarium, as the best Christmas gift he has received. Dr. Bawumia expressed his gratitude to God for the successful surgery Priscilla underwent, which has made it possible for her to walk. Dash it away. When mediocrity all of a sudden becomes a subject of praise, I'm sad at this mediocrity. The Weja Leprosarium has been there for only God knows how long. The white guy there has been at the helm of affairs for only God knows how long. He left his country and came and sat down there. He's a religious person. He has a heart that beats for humanity. He's ready to sacrifice everything to see humanity grow. Are you? They were not able to give the girl a new leg and to cure her of her leprosy, even though we have a leprosarium that has been abandoned, rejected, and ill-equipped. Now, Vice President would have to dole out money and send this girl not to any other country in Africa, but to Europe to go and get a new leg and come back. And you heard him say in that video, and she's working so well. A man steals from us a cow, and he brings us the horn of the cow or the hoof of the cow, and we are clapping for him for being so kind. That is the case with Bawumia. The national coffers, all the resources of the nation have been given to you to help the nation grow. Common leprosy. You know what leprosy is? It's a skin disease. They couldn't treat it. They had to go to Italy. Bawumia had to pay for it. Do you know how many more children, how many more teenagers, how many more adolescents, how many more adults, old and young, are suffering this same predicament? Yet a lot of them will be in this until they die because politicians are refusing to use our own resources to furnish all these places. After all, they can get one case, fly you out and get all the glory. And everybody will say, oh, you go to heaven, you are a good person. When they are sick, they use our own resources, fly out and treat themselves. But when we are sick, we wait on their benevolence to come and take us. We count on their benevolence. We count on their kindness for them to give us a little bit of the stolen loot. None of them is clean. Nanado goes to a certain school and there's a girl there that is sick and they decide to fly the girl out of the country. With whose money? We are treating symptoms when we should better be dealing with the root cause of the issues. Leprosarium. What do you need to cure leprosy? You don't have artificial legs. You have to fly all the way to Italy. You are not even ashamed. You are in your suit, coat and tie, tailored in Italy. You are walking around a little girl. Oh, she's working so well. She's working so well. I don't praise people like that. I'm not coming to ask you for food. I'm asking you to teach me how to farm. Show me the farm. I can produce my own food. Show me how to fish. I can find my own fish. I won't come knocking at your door to give me fish every day. That's the insult they give to us every day. One person has been flown to Italy and the whole Ghana is praising these dirty politicians. When will they ever finish the leprosy? They will not. After all, they just need one case and you praise them again because we are dumb. We are dunce. Look at this guy. Oh, she's working so well. If your child was working like that, I'm not sure you say that she's working so well. Fix the institutions. Fix the systems. When Obama came here, he spoke to you and told you Africa doesn't need aid anymore. Africa does not need strong men anymore. What Africa needs right now, strong institutions. In America, the institutions are working. You go into any machine and slot something comes out of it, depending on what you have. Trains are running left, right, and center. Machines are handling all that. In England, it's the same thing. But with us, no. Corrupt human beings stand all over the place and they maneuver the system in order to benefit them. The country keeps sinking. We destroy our land, sink the land, and then we run to church and say, God should help us. What a people. Daben. Time has overtaken us. Anyway, it's the Black Pot, aka Koko Show no more, where we speak truth to power. Bring the vice president here. You have his photo? Slap it here. Listen, Dr. Bawumia, with all respect, this is not what we expect from you. We expect you to be different. We are not looking for a philanthropist from you. We are not coming to you for goodies and crumbs from off your table. We are demanding the reason we voted you into power. We are not looking for charity from you. We are not beggars. Fix the systems. Dash him off. Dash him. Dash. It's the Black Pot, aka Koko Show no man. Here we speak truth to power. Can we look at the final stories and get that? Final messages, right? Time Genesis is always saying, say it loud. Mubarak MBK says corrupt leaders. TCJJ says whether oral is here to stay or go, we all have to sit and help it work. Elembele Mugabe and co should respect us small. Why? They are corrupt and they never have a problem with you if you allow them to continue stealing. The day you start to ask them for probity and accountability, you are their worst enemy. They say when you are fighting corruption, remember corruption will fight you back. David King Nero says, watching live from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. Abanga Abdullah says, come here, my youth. You think say you day wise. In fact, oral can work if we have people like you. Mbiele, the team oral is a great team, but remember that power corrupts absolutely. Please. They should please put politics aside and deal with the issue as it is. Gibril Musa says, Blakk, God bless you for the good work. I am addicted to your tunes, deep lyrics. Respect. Keep supporting the album. It's called The Salaga Soldier. It's a very powerful album. Highly acclaimed in Jamaica and beyond, the land of reggae. Yeah, I think we did a good job. Check it out. Kofi Azuma says, greetings to my brother Black Rasta. This very day after Christmas. Says Black Rasta, happy Boxing Day. Says greetings to all the brethren and sisters this day. Flacco Alem says, hey, Mr. Black, greetings, Ziblin. Mohammed says, big up Black Rasta, I salute you. Kofi Azuma says, shout out to Kevin Taylor, Free Mind, with the Maya, Johnny Hughes, and that big time DJ in Bolgatanga. Yes, Raskimo. Yes, Lord Kimo. Happy Boxing Day. Fuseni Magaji says, tell them the people are trying to diss us all. Kofi Azuma comes back to say, Black Rasta keeps speaking nothing but the real truth. Black Rasta, you always keep it real. All right? Jano. Your comments. Say, Black Rasta, yes, I like that shirt you're wearing here today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And he says, Black Rasta, it is still cold and snowing everywhere here. Michael Akunzoya says, submission, Rasta. And Kofi Azuma comes back to say, peace and one love, Ghana, one Africa. One Ghana, one Africa. Big up to all on this platform this Thursday. Blessed love, love and respect. All right. Are we done? We have more comments coming in. Mohammed Benjewa says, greetings in Biali, the entire crew, and Hajia Dia inside Lebanon, a Shaiman from Sankara Yele. Greet them for me. All right. No problem. Home sweet home. Much love and respect to all the ghetto youth in Yendi. Come here. Wayo. Signed, MC Scorpion. Emmanuel Adumja says, good evening. Marcus says, good evening, Black Rasta. I really admire you so much for your bravery in speaking truth to power, especially under the evil leadership of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. All right? God is good. It's been the Black Port, a.k.a. Kukushonomo. Love and respect to my professor, Professor Albion Mens. I love you. Love you. I love you. Thanks so much for all the love. And I also want to say thank you so much to Brother Kweku for joining us today. We love you. We appreciate you. Catch you again tomorrow. Hey! Why? Wayo!